Hi, guys. I got two people on the chat. I didn't give a warning. I just went live because we're talking about all the hoopla that's going on with the Tory Lanez case. He just got found guilty on all counts. He's looking to face up to 22 years. And the minute it happened, so I was on Nosey's channel. And then the minute that it happened, and she got an advance warning from King Payne, who's sitting in the courtroom. And the minute it went live, my phone blew up. I'm talking about mayhem. Let me wait till Perry isn't even here yet. This is crazy. My phone's ding, 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 ding. We got all kind of people, both sides upset, both sides making excuses. Let me see if I can pull that tape of Tory Lanez's dad, who's blaming Rock Nation. What? Huh? He said that if Tory would have signed the contract, then everything would have been fine. But Rock Nation's behind all of this, and they're mad at Tory Lanez. So they did something shady and sent him to jail for life. 22 years is basically a life sentence. I believe 25 is his technical life sentence. 22, same thing. 20, anything. I can't go to jail for 2, let alone 20. So let me try to wait for Perry, who's getting all the stuff. I guess Megan just tweeted. Perry said, let me look this up. He said, Megan tweeted, woo! Armand cried. This is crazy. Woo! I mean, people are going crazy. A lot of women are coming forward saying that that's what he deserves. That's what he's got. That's what he gets. Let me see. Let me read you this tweet from Meg. I don't know what she's. Here it is. This is crazy. I got to show you guys these tapes that I got. I don't know where Perry is. I thought this was going to be over. You guys have heard me say day after day after day, I'm sick of this case. This is not going to get any better. People are polarizing their feelings. And did you guys see DJ Academics? It looked like he was going to cry. I'm not laughing. I'm just saying he's shocked. I'll put it that way. So like a lot of the Tory supporters, they're blaming this on Rock Nation. I don't get that. What? Oh, okay. Hold on. Okay. I got a lot of people tweeting me. Hold on. I'm going to take calls. Let me start taking calls. Let me do this first. Hold on. This is crazy. It's no way in hell people are going to stop talking about this. This is the beginning. Listen, if you were wrong and you thought that Tory was going to get off, I'm saying this to some of my blogger friends. You have to come out and say, I didn't think they were going to convict him. I was wrong. You cannot make up excuses. It is what it is. I didn't think they were going to convict Tory. I'm not blaming nobody else. I made the wrong decision and the jury went the other way. It is what it is. But you can't start putting together conspiracy theories. It's crazy. Thank you, guys. I got the banner up. Harry, what's everyone blaming Rock Nation? Come on. It is what it is.
Look, I don't know. Outside that whole thing, it could be a lot of reasons. People always come up with excuses. Every loser have an excuse on what the fuck is going on, right?
I mean, they're really serious. They think
I would say this though. At the top of it, seriously, going into the day, I would have, if I went to the casino and placed a bet, I would have been wrong.
And you have to come out and say when you're wrong.
I would have been wrong. I mean, it's like, and I was. I mean, because I just felt like with our justice system that he was gonna walk from this shit. That's what I thought. But I was wrong, right? Which, and people can say, well, damn, do you feel bad? No, I mean, that's where you put yourself when you go into court.
Oh, do you feel bad for Tory Lanez?
No, yeah. I mean, people go like, well, damn, are you saying, look, I'm not part of the jury. I ain't listened to all this shit. But obviously they had an opinion, they spoke, and they said your ass going for a long time. That's it. And that's what I can go by. Like, no, I mean, like I said, I never have a dog in the race, whether it was Tory or Megan. I know she got shot, but then I knew, it seemed like a lot of stuff was going on. But at the end of the day, when you go to court, It's not about what these bloggers saying. It's what the jurors are thinking.
Yeah.
What would get your ass clean? You know what I'm saying?
So
Locked up.
they locked him up right there in the courtroom, took him away. I'm trying to get all
Mm-mm-mm.
my tapes together while I'm talking to you.
Yeah, you good?
I mean, it is what it is, but they're over there crying. I mean, the Tory Lanez fans, I understand that you guys are shocked. No excuses. Just don't. Just
Yeah.
say the jury didn't believe him, and it is what it is. But
Well,
all of
that's what
this
happened.
Jay-Z's behind it. Jay-Z? Hell are y'all talking about?
Mm-hmm.
How are they saying that Jay-Z? Come on, y'all. Stop.
You know what though?
I get it. It's
mean,
emotional.
it'll go from Jay-Z did it to black males against black females. You know, people are gonna find something to try to justify why his ass locked up. Look, some shit went down. He went to court. The prosecutor had a chance to prove his case. The defense had a chance to, debunk it. It didn't work. That's what happened when your ass go to court. I'm not gonna sit here and make no excuse about
It
it.
is what it is. Anyway, I'm trying to get these tapes together. Let me see if I can. The dad and the stepmom start screaming in the courtroom. His little girl starts screaming. She said, "These people are trying to ruin my dad's reputation." Now I see why
Right.
Armand cried. That's the little girl, she had nothing to do with this, but
No, I get it. I mean,
it's your
but
daddy.
the whole thing is that's gonna happen on both sides. If he would have walked, you can have people on the other side crying that my daughter was victimized or whatever, shot or anything, and there was no penalty for it. You know what I'm saying? Like you can always have
Mhm.
these kind of people that's there. That's what I think. But they'll
Yeah, but
reach
the
and
whole
say Rock
Jay-Z thing,
Nation,
nobody
they'll
brought
say
up
all
Rock
this
Nation
different
the whole
stuff. I
trial.
don't know.
Let me see.
Yeah. So, that's how I feel
It's
about it. Like,
absolutely mayhem. But I got to get all the stuff ready before I can pull up my tapes. Crazy. They were, I don't know, Perry. Is this going to die out anytime soon? No, he gets sentenced at the end of January. This is not that long away.
no, but I mean, it's not gonna really die down because people gonna come with conspiracy theories now.
That's what's shocking me is the
That's what's about ready
conspiracy
to happen now.
theories.
But at the end of the day, it was 4 people hanging out. Shit happened. Now this where they got your ass ended up at. Now, if that's it. Let's not make no excuses for it.
So a lot of people are saying this is a victory for all women. I'm trying to get all this together. I forgot how long it takes to set up. I just jumped on here. They're saying this is a victory for all women and that he's getting what he deserves. Woo!
Yeah.
I got to show that tape. Hold on. Hold on. Let me set up and then we can hit the internet with
That's what
reactions.
happened in court. People enter, some people walk out free, some people get incarcerated. It's just one of those damn things. Fuck it.
I mean, 22 years is a long time. How old is Tory Lanez? I can't remember.
I don't know. 20, I don't
Might
know.
be
I
30.
would say wait, 30. I don't know.
Look it up on your phone really quick.
All right.
Geez, there goes my day off. But I'm glad it's over with. Hold on, let me see this.
He's 30. So
Yeah,
52
that's what
years
I
old.
thought.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like,
January 27th, he will be sentenced, they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Let me try to put this on the screen. That's not long at all. And definitely now that he's a convicted felon, if and when he gets out, he would automatically be deported back to Canada. Tory's going to jail wearing a powder pink outfit. Y'all are messy. A powder pink outfit. Here, let me try this. He will no longer be a resident, even on a visa here in the United States. He is no longer welcome when he gets out.
For sure, I thought he would walk though, but that's just my thing and my experiences watching all these cases through the course of my lifetime. But no, I guess they,
Okay,
they,
let me try.
they're making somebody pay the price.
Now, I'm not used to doing this like this. So tell me if my screen is. Do you see the dad on the screen?
Yeah, I see it. I see it.
Okay,
I
let me
don't.
go ahead and.
I can't hear it though, but I can see it.
You hear it?
Mhm.
Including you, Jay-Z.
Yes. Yes.
You who say you rose from the gutter, but you have traded
They are
and bartered the souls
That's it.
of young men, and you're still doing it. The only independent witness in this courtroom is a man whose name is Sean Kelly. He came to court, and our attorneys, he would not even shake their hand after he went upstairs with Kathy Ta and Alex Bart.
They met on Saturday before. They met
They
on
met
Saturday.
with our
Saturday
witness. And then the man came back,
He can't
and I
remember.
sat in the hallway while he sat with Jody Little, the prosecutor's investigator, who acted so dumb, an intelligent woman who did not want. Listen, I've seen so much evidence buried in this. And the whole wicked system of Rock Nation, including you, Jay-Z.
Yes. Yes.
You who say you rose from the gutter, but you have traded
They are-
and
Now I'm gonna have to pause this. Where does Jay-Z come into all of this?
Well-
What is he talking about? Listen, if this is what I'm saying, and he's not now the whole internet, all the rappers are going around saying this is Jay-Z's fault. Listen, if you thought Tory Lanez was gonna walk and he didn't, you were wrong. Just
Yeah,
say I was
right,
wrong,
right.
and my boy's going to jail for life. 25 years is technically life. 22 close
But
enough.
you notice that, like, I'm telling you, every loser got a story. You could be a sports fan or whatever. The refs cheated. This happened, right? But you notice that
Mhm.
he's coming after everybody, but saying his son put himself in a bad
yeah,
predicament. Whether he did
yeah,
it, it was, the jury to say he did it. I'm just saying, and those are people
that
who
count.
counts, right? My shit don't count.
Also, too, I felt, I don't know if I'm right or wrong, I felt that Tory Lanez was going around paying people off or doing something to get people
Right.
to change his story. He shouldn't have been on that damn elevator with that woman. What if that was the nail in the coffin? Like, he is just playing, he's trying to manipulate too many people. That could be it. We don't know what the jury's thinking until they start.
But that's what happened when you have a little change in your pocket. People try that. There's
Let me
many
keep going.
people that's free today because they had money. That's don't paid off a lot of people.
I think he tried to pay off.
It-
But
it
that's
it
just my
did-
opinion.
It just didn't work for him.
It did not.
No.
bartered the souls
That's it.
of young men, and you're still doing it. The only independent witness in this courtroom is a man whose name is Sean Kelly. He came to court, and our attorneys, he would not even shake their hand after he went upstairs with Kathy Ta and Alex Bart.
They met on Saturday before. They met
They
on
met
Saturday.
with our
Saturday night.
witness. And then the man came back,
He can't
and I
remember.
sat in the hallway while he sat with Jody Little, the prosecutor's investigator, who acted so dumb, an intelligent woman who did not want. Listen, I've seen so much evidence buried in this. And the whole wicked system of Rock Nation, including you, Jay-Z.
Yes. Yes.
You who say you rose from the gutter, but you have traded
They are
and
children.
bartered the souls
That's it.
of young men, and you're still doing it. The only independent witness in this courtroom is a man whose name is Sean Kelly. He came to court, and our attorneys, he would not even shake their hand after he went upstairs with Kathy Ta and Alex Bart.
They met on Saturday before. They met
They
on
met
Saturday.
with our
Saturday
witness. And then the man came back,
He can't
and I
remember.
sat in the hallway while he sat with Jody Little, the prosecutor's investigator, who acted so dumb, an intelligent woman who did not want, listen, I've seen so much evidence buried in this.
That's crazy. I got
Right.
more. I got more footage.
But if he's seen so
That
much,
came
right?
from Armand, huh?
Didn't he? I mean, he's seen all this, but he didn't address it before.
I'm not really even sure what he's trying to say. Do you?
He just saying, look, we bring in this witness. He didn't even shake our attorney's hands, but he went and hung out with the prosecutors. He's saying
So
he
he was
basically saying they don't pay them off some kind of way, or he was working for them.
okay. Wait. He's insinuating that the prosecutors, somehow bribed.
Or yeah, that the witness
eyewitness.
is actually basically like an informant or working for the prosecutor.
This is a mess. Yeah. Mistake 1 is having a gun. Mistake 2, holding a gun. Mistake 3, firing a gun. Mistake 4, firing a gun at a person. That equals jail time. Thank you, Sussex. Let's see what else. Lesson: don't shoot a woman. Don't shoot a woman. Merry Christmas, Tory. Don't drop the soap. Y'all are mean. Return rent a son before the deposit expires. Clink, clink. Therapy for Meg. I mean, listen, this is a mess. Hopefully now Meg can restore what reputation she thinks is gone. I don't think her reputation will be scarred by this. But I've been wrong this whole time. And if you go to DJ Academic's channel, they're shocked. I don't know. Titty Jake has Tory's daddy. TD Jakes. That's what you mean. Y'all are messy. Y'all are messy. Did I drop that link just in case anybody wanted to talk? I don't think so. Let me see. I got more footage. I'm gonna talk to Perry about this as I try to up the footage. People in the courtroom. Neek, you're saying it was very, very emotional.
Mm-hmm.
Both sides were, what's the word I'm looking for? It was intense. It was intense.
Right,
Both sides cheered for their side.
Mm-hmm.
But the little girl, I gotta get the little girl, Tory's little girl,
Mm-hmm.
why is she there? She looks about 8 years old. She was crying.
Mm-hmm.
The lady with the big afro, that's his stepmom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, somebody said congratulations, Megan. Let me put that up there. Hold on. I missed it. It's going fast. Hey, Tia, speak while I change this really quickly.
I'm glad he got convicted.
What are your thoughts? Did you see the footage yet of what happened right outside the courtroom? What happened in the hallway? How it was mayhem? People were celebrating. People were crying. People were yelling at each other.
But I mean, at the end of the day, okay, like they said, there was a lot of evidence, and Tory was his own worst enemy. Okay.
His behavior? His
behavior, even his TikToks that he was doing way before, he was supposed to go to court.
What TikToks?
He was doing these weird TikToks, basically making fun of himself, going to prison and then not going to prison, and just, being a real goofball. And people were going off on him about that, calling him corny. And then the whole rent-a-kid situation. I mean, really? You didn't know that kid no more than a can of paint.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, he was his own worst enemy. And that old girl that he was seeing, they shouldn't have even had her go up on the stand, because really she's the reason why he got convicted. Don't go and say that, yeah, he shot her. Then you get up on the stand. I don't remember anything.
You're talking about Kelsey? You blame Kelsey?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Because, all right, evidence had came out, I don't know how true this is, that there was gunpowder residue on both Kelsey and Tory.
Right. Yes, that came out. Mm-hmm.
And then the guy who testified and said that he saw, the shot go off from the girl, Kelsey,
mm-hmm.
and then the shot go off from Tory. So right there is evidence. So sorry, you you got convicted of a crime that you did. End of story. And the fact that everyone was supporting Tory and going after Megan, I kind of felt like, what are y'all like? In my opinion, I felt like they were putting her promiscuity on stand and not the fact that she's a real victim. And I'm not
How come Meg never brought up the fight?
because all right, I remember when this happened at the very beginning, and Meg went on live and said, I wasn't going to say anything, but you keep talking and you keep making jokes. Now I'm going to have to say something. She was not going to say anything. She was going to let this die, but he kept joking and he kept talking about it.
He made
Well,
a whole album about it.
Right.
Why was Tory doing that?
Because he's a dummy. He's stupid. Look at him.
I just told myself.
Just like after the prosecution, Sherelle, the first day did their closing, not the second time when they replied, he bust out laughing.
He laughed.
King said he bust out laughing, and everybody turned and looked at him. He's a fool. Perry was bad last night, Sherelle.
I heard. You talk about on Nosey's channel?
No, he came over King Payne's channel last night in the middle of the night. It was like 3:30 here.
Whoa. Who came where?
Oh,
Perry did.
Oh,
I
Perry.
called in. We was talking about the case.
Oh, I thought she said that Tory was on King Payne's channel.
no,
I was supposed to go
me.
No, I
crazy.
said Perry. He was being bad. I said, Perry, I'm gonna go wake Sherelle up and tell her to come take you back to bed.
Now,
They
King
was
Payne
getting
did
on
say,
Perry. I was getting mad because they was getting on Perry. I was like, no, don't do Perry like that. I finally fell asleep. I dropped down. I fell asleep.
Perry,
It was late.
was you over there? Was they getting on you, Perry?
Oh, well, no, I mean, yeah. The people who want to believe what they want to believe, I was just saying that the court system is based off whether you can prove it or not.
I had to get on Perry. I had to get on Perry on Instagram because he put a video up of Bishop Lamar Whitehead.
Perry, you be roaming the halls at night. Look, when I sleep, you stay off the internet. Tulsa, are you shocked at the verdict?
Is it elephant heavy?
Ooh, child. What is
Oh,
that?
Sherelle, that little girl is Tory's sister. If
That's
you
Tory's
watch,
What was she
if you
doing?
watch,
Look, I'm trying to upload that now. What was she doing in the courthouse?
she was there with the stepmother. That's the stepmother's,
She's too young. She's too
daughter.
young. to
And
be
she
there.
said after when they was getting in the car, in the vehicle, in the SUV, before she got in the car, she said, "My brother's not guilty," or something. She said.
Yeah, I'm
But
very play it.
That was his sister. Armand,
That was his
Armand's got a real
That-
long live with the whole thing on it. I sent it to you.
You sent
I
it to
sent
me?
it to you on Instagram.
Ooh, good. Now I don't have to download it. Hold on.
So Sherelle, why you do that? I was just gonna say, like, his dad and his response. We know where Tory gets that attitude from. We know where he get that cockiness from. I mean, he just really let loose. And you as a father, talking about you a father to many people, well, baby, you failed. You failed with this one.
He's supposed to be a preacher or something.
He's
Well,
a
we
preacher.
know that by his whole sermon he gave outside the courthouse.
Child.
He was a mess. He was a mess. That was disgusting. And for them to carry
Tulsa,
on in the
100%
courtroom.
Agreed. That's the first thing I thought about when I seen him acting out. I said, "This is where he get it from. The apple does not fall far from the tree." So we're gonna keep gaslighting and throwing all these accusations out there that have nothing to do with nothing. The only thing that needs to be held accountable is your son needs to be held accountable for his behavior.
Let me see.
Exactly.
Emmanuel, what was the jury's thoughts? What do you think they were thinking? Because there was lies thrown all over the place. What made the jury throw those out? What are your thoughts while I download this video? Go ahead.
When I saw the notification, I was so shocked. I do believe justice was served. However, the prosecutor, they gotta be thanking God the entire night that he made the jurors decide to vote for him guilty, because the way they presented it, everybody thought it was gonna be not guilty. I mean, they did a horrible job. So they got to thank God for serving justice.
So you think that they found him guilty because of Tory's behavior, the way he felt like he was paying off the jurors, getting in the damn elevator. I don't know if you guys seen this. This was reported on my friend Nosy show that after King Payne reported that he got in the elevator, the following day they were following him around. Did you hear that, Tory?
Oh yeah, I had interviewed him. He said that the first few days before he was detained. So he was detained in court. And so the detectives had brought him up.
Too.
Yeah, they had brought him up, and then he said, like, after that, it was like the time of the court was going up because they didn't want him in the courtroom.
What? That's
yeah, but they end up walking him to court.
He was also being stalked on his way when he had made it to court one day. He got out of his car. Tory Lanez Tory Lanez security was right across the street.
Now that is odd behavior.
And he was being
every
followed
time he got up.
And he was
every time he got up out the seat in the courtroom, they followed him to the bathroom and everything. He told me that last night.
How are you?
He said that.
Oh my God! Like, wow.
Also, King Payne said that he was being very nice to everybody, buying people snacks, not even taking it serious, acting like your ass could go to jail for the rest of your life. People say, Sherelle, 22 years is not a life sentence. Technically, 25 years is a life sentence. That's too damn close for me.
I mean, but isn't it technically like 20 years is considered life sentence?
No, now life means life.
Okay, now, but back in the day, was it 20 years though?
Yep,
I guess.
Yep,
So.
back in the day,
I
our
remember
time,
something
yep.
like that. I ain't never been to jail, so
you would have had to
Yeah,
spend
back
like
in our
20 years
time,
of your
like
and
in
then
the
when
60s and
parole comes
70s, 20 years was life. But they changed that in the 90s. Yeah, they changed that in the 90s. Life now means natural life.
Let me see if I can play this really quick. This is crazy. Hold on, let me try it again.
Damn.
But you know what? I still feel like Kelsey has something to do with it.
I don't know.
Me too,
what's a jury?
Yeah,
I believe
why would
so
you get
too.
immunity? What would you need immunity from? Like,
try that again. Hold on.
There was no female DNA. No female DNA. It was only male DNA, but it was too discreet to see whose it belonged to.
Well, guess what? This is how I'm looking at it. 1501 got they $1 million thanks to Kelsey.
Who?
1501. They didn't got their $1 million thanks to Kelsey, and hopefully, they can just cut ties. Okay, she got $1 million. She got money, so she needs to give that $1 million to whoever was looking for money for Megan.
I just feel that this isn't over. There are a lot of male rappers, if you go to DJ Academic's channel, that feel that she's guilty and they're pissed. Let's play this really quick. This is coming from Armand Wiggins, who was in the courtroom.
And the whole wicked system of Rock Nation, including you, Jay-Z.
Yes.
You who say you rose from the gutter, but you have traded and tortured the souls of young men, and you're still doing it. The only independent witness in this courtroom is a man whose name is Sean Kelly. He came to court, and our attorneys, he would not even shake their hand after he went upstairs with Kathy Tar and Alex Bart.
They met on Saturday before. They met on Saturday.
Met with our witness. And then the man came back, and I sat in the hallway while he sat with Jody Little, the prosecutor's investigator, who acted so dumb, an intelligent woman who did not want, listen, I've seen so much evidence buried in this. And the whole wicked system of Rock Nation, including you, Jay-Z.
Yes.
You who say you rose from the gutter, but you have traded and tortured the souls of young men, and you're still doing it. The only independent witness in this courtroom is a man whose name is Sean Kelly. He came to court, And our attorneys, he would not even shake their hand after he went upstairs with Kathy Tarr and Alex Bart.
They met on Saturday before. They met on
They
Saturday.
met with our
Saturday
witness. And then the man came back,
He can't
and I
remember.
sat in the hallway while he sat with Jody Little, the prosecutor's investigator, who acted so dumb, an intelligent woman who did not want, listen, I've seen so much evidence buried in this.
All right. So
He
can only
followed
get-
him all the way to the car.
I know
and
that's
asked-
just partial. So I'm downloading that footage where he came when the little
Followed him
girl
to
was
the car?
talking and everything.
Sherelle, do
Yeah,
you got a
that
blood
was-
pressure pill? Because his daddy is going to need it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Hey, Sherelle,
yeah.
here's the thing. Megan had statements which were later proven not to be true.
She had to say it again, Bonji.
Statements that later were proven not to be true.
Right.
But here is where what is termed misogynoir, meaning misogyny directed at Black women, plays a role in this case. And this is why I'm saying that. Megan was the victim. Tory is the one who was who shot her. But I was on DJ Academic's show as the just before and just after the verdict came down, and the vitriol that is being targeted at her.
I told you.
Is not only shocking but very disappointing, because she is the victim. He wouldn't be in court if he hadn't put himself in that situation. And his dad losing it literally or in front of the world media says more about him than it does about Meg. Now, Meg has her own issues that she has to deal with, but those are separate from her being traumatized by this man and having to go through what has been also a public shaming of her as a woman. I say Merry Christmas, Tory.
Yes.
And Megan will be out and hopefully rebuild her life and her career.
I agree, Bonji.
Pamela, let me ask you this. Bonji just seen it. If you go to DJ Academic's channel, they're pissed. It's mostly men, mostly rappers. They are. Is she gonna pay the price, Meg the Stallion?
Nope.
Yeah,
Pamela,
I think
can you hear me?
so.
Pamela,
Who?
you're on mute.
Oh.
I can hear you now. How you doing?
We can't hear you.
Can you guys hear? Can you hear me now?
Try it again.
Okay, try it again. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can.
Now she can hear me. Okay, hey Sherelle.
Hi.
Hi, this is my daughter Jody.
Hey, you guys.
So pretty.
Hey.
Hi, Jody.
Thank you for having us. Go ahead.
I said, if you go to DJ Academic's channel, which is mostly Black men, mostly rappers, they're pissed. Do you think Megan is going to be affected in the business because of this?
Oh, yes, of course. She, let alone what happened to her, how it unfolded. I think a lot of people are angry, not choosing sides here. We know what happened. No woman deserved that. No woman should have. But yet, some sort with her music in online and Instagram. So we're praying that she can get counseling and get back to where she needs to be a woman, and not just a Black woman, as a woman, because it's tragic. The whole thing is terrifying everyone. Terror. I mean, she's just been in terror. So we can imagine how she will have to get her career back in order.
I agree.
I mean, I don't know. I just pray everything works out for Meg. Like you said, at the end of the day, she was a victim and she was shot.
Yeah.
But you know how politics are. I mean, do you agree with me, Sin?
I don't think.
Hold on. T, I gotta put you. I'm hearing some noise.
Now is that better?
Oh, is that you? Yeah. Go ahead,
Okay.
Sin.
I don't think her career will be ruined with this, because she was Rock Nation with Jay-Z and them, right?
Yeah.
And you think about it. Do y'all remember when he was
supposed to not have any contact with her or say her name or anything, and he did it anyway, and the judge put didn't he go back to jail or go to jail for a couple of days because he was on house arrest with the monitor?
You're talking about Tory?
Yep.
I don't.
Yeah, he was stalking her
No,
on Twitter.
And,
Yeah.
and they put him on the ankle monitor. Like they had to
Yep.
release him before a trial, Sherelle.
Remember, she got the
He
restraining
kept
order.
taunting the situation. He made a whole album about it. That's why she ultimately came out and started speaking up. He made the situation worse for himself.
Exactly.
And it didn't have to go there. And, you know, let's not forget, Megan did not want to bring charges. The state picked up the charges. But I guarantee they're going to flip this whole thing in the industry like she's a snitch and she went against him.
Yeah.
And she's going to have a hard time for a little while. She could bounce back from this, but she's going to have a really, really hard time. They already been dragging her from before this.
So true. I can speak personally from this. I'm in the industry. I'm in the music industry. I'm an artist myself, and I've met Beyonce and I've met all these people in the industry. And just like Jaguar was saying, there are things that go on what we see, you know, and I got to be careful how I talk online myself. There are conspiracy things that do go on allegedly. But like Jaguar said, she, you know, her and Nosy, you got to understand, you know, because Meg is in the public and because who her manager is, you know, she got to move a certain way. It's not a good look. You know, I've learned that from Beyonce's crew. Less you say, the more you get paid.
They're very proud.
And that was her biggest mistake. The fact that she kept speaking out and she did that interview. But I'm going to stand by this. I think Megan was in a place of grievance and she was looking for love in all the wrong places and she got caught up. I'm going to stand by this. The grief process takes a toll on you mentally. And she lost someone close, her mom and her grandma back to back. So she probably felt like she didn't have any family. Yes, she's a liar. That's facts, okay? It's been proven. But at the end of the day, she's still the victim. And everyone tried to downgrade that and displace
Well,
her.
y'all saying that she's a liar. No, Tory's the biggest liar because he's the one that's found guilty. So, I mean, where's the outrage for him? I'm hearing all this outrage for this Black woman. And I say this all the time. Black women are not protected. Sherelle, you remember me saying that.
You say it every day.
Never
Yeah.
protected.
They're
Why
not.
does this woman have to give a whole full resume? There was a gun. She got shot by it. What more do we need? What more details do we need? Somebody shot it. Who did it? It wasn't her.
And he's been doing the most gaslighting this whole time, trying to cover it up and change his image. And I was appalled when he brought his kid to court. That is no place.
That was a
rent-a-kid.
That was exactly. That was a rent-a-kid. He didn't know that child in a month of Sundays.
So they're saying, Naughty, that was Future's kid. I don't know why.
It probably was. I mean, he got.
I wouldn't be surprised. It's not far-fetched, Sherelle. Like at this point, I mean, he tried to go after a juror. Ultimately, his antics was his cause of his demise. So let's see if the industry is man enough to stand up and say, "Y'all, man, you was wrong."
Oh, they won't do that because I mean they're men. I mean they want to stick together no matter what. They feel like if they support her, then they gonna call them crazy or you need to nut up or something. But it's sad that this guy. Now, if it had not been guilty and they would have said he's innocent, what would they have done then to Megan?
Dragged her.
She lied.
Dragged her. He would have made a whole nother album and made a whole nother $60 million off of it. That's what would have happened.
And I'm
his dad was saying Rock Nation and all that. He's upset because Rock Nation didn't want his little short sale.
Oh
my I'm just saying, but they wanted Megan.
They got Megan.
Exactly.
Tia, can you speak really quickly? And then I'm going to drop you and bring up someone else, and then I'll bring you back.
Yeah,
I'll go down, Sherelle. No problem.
Okay. Thank you, Naughty.
Yeah, and I'll go down after I said this. I'm gonna just need DJ Academics to eat a salad and to realize that he's ugly.
No, I did not say that. Let's make this perfectly clear, Academics. I did not say that.
No, but I said it. I said it.
There's an echo.
Hold on, I got an echo. Is that you, Essence?
It's sin.
I
You
ain't
see
do
her just
nothing.
glowing like this.
You're
No.
echoing, Sin.
When we
Do you have any other
talking,
tabs open? She
you
went on
shining
mute.
like the moon.
That's all I have to say. I'm gonna need him to eat a salad and to come to terms
I
with the
can't.
fact that he is ugly. Once he comes to
Okay, you
terms with that,
cannot
he
be
will be
saying that
fine.
with me on the screen. Do not. They will hate me forever. I
In
did
my
not
opinion.
say that.
In my opinion. Okay, I gotta get crazy. The board, he's about to start, and I gotta watch him too.
All
Okay,
right.
all right. Take care.
I'm gonna let you go.
Okay.
It's-
Sin, you're echoing.
Okay, I gotta go. Bye.
Damn it.
Okay, bye-bye.
Sheree,
All right.
Yeah.
I want to say to you and Perry, most say it and most don't mean it, but you guys are doing a great job. Perry,
Oh, thank you.
taking my inbox message or request, whatever I send you guys, when I think I find something, I'm going to stay in touch, but I want to say it again. We as Black people and moms and grandmoms, I'm 62 years old, and I'm telling you, that woman, that tragedy, she going to go through a lot just because she had to tell, just because she had to speak her truth. And what she went through is going to be a long-term healing process for her. As for Tory, whatever his name, Lane, he gonna get what he got coming, you know.
Yeah.
So, but our place for me, that's my sister, because I'm not saying sister relative, but she's a Black woman.
Right.
If she wasn't a Black woman, she's a woman that has been traumatized. So she's gonna have to come out of that, and she's gonna have to heal that. Of course, her career is part of that too, because she got to have the right mindset to make music. So, saying that, I just thank you. I thank you, Perry, and I thank all of your panel. Thank you for having me tonight. And I look forward to coming back because I am really a big fan of you guys.
Hey, thank
That's
you.
so
And
sweet.
and
Thank you
Merry
so
Christmas
much.
too. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
You too. Bye for now.
Okay.
Okay, you guys,
Cheryl?
I'm downloading this tape real quick. Yeah.
Maybe you, but Perry, I'm questionable.
What?
About what you said.
Hell no.
I got this really good tape. I want to play. It's taking a long time to download because it is 11 minutes, but
Got a
it's
stranger
everything
in
that
the house.
happened right after the verdict. And y'all could see just how intense things got. In the meantime, hey, Val, sound off real quick.
I just want to say hi.
Hey.
Diva, sound off. What are your thoughts?
You know what? I'm happy for Megan. I'm actually shocked though. I was shocked because I really thought the prosecution messed up this case and lost it and didn't, present a good case. The dad is pissed because he knows what's coming up for his son. He knows that, this means that at the end of the day, no matter what sentence they give his son, he's going to be deported. So the dad he got misdirected anger. And he's so pissed at the whole situation. And I also think he's pissed because I think, like many others, they thought this was a slam dunk case. They thought that he was not going to go to jail, that this was not going to be the verdict. And it certainly wouldn't have been the verdict on all counts. So when I heard it, I was like, oh, wow, I'm shocked too.
I was shocked because the scores were all over the place. Have you seen this footage yet? I'm getting ready to play, Diva, of the little girl. Okay, let me play this footage.
Play it and then we'll talk. Play it and then we talk. Yeah.
We feel you, OG.
You must not go to jail. You have kids. God is watching. All of you.
Remember, when it looks bad, God is in control. We got this.
Absolutely.
We're going to be in prayer. Okay? God bless.
Stay strong, man.
Just want to say, the DA said DNA doesn't matter. How the hell does DNA not matter?
And they never produced the prints, no fingerprints, not one. Tell me, how does bullets disappear in the LAPD's office? Tell me how there's no fingerprints. My God Almighty, I call heaven and earth to be a record today. That Rock Nation, you will crumble. I am an apostle of God.
That's right.
And you will know who I am.
That's right. Say that, man. Come on, man. I feel that, bro. Real talk. I feel that. Real talk. I'm riding with that. Fuck what nobody says. I'm riding with that, but I feel that.
Hip hop is dead. Hip hop is
This shit has been an explosive day. I'm trying, it was fireworks in that courtroom. Fireworks in that courtroom. Tory Lanez guilty on all 3 counts, bitch. I'm gagging. I'm only crying because The fucking. I'm only crying because the little baby. It was a lot in there, bitch. It was a lot. Oh, it was a lot. It was a lot. I don't even cry, bitch. That was a lot in there. That was a lot. There was a lot in that room.
I still did. That's the wrong one. I didn't get the full thing. Well, the little daughter comes out, little girl.
I sent you another one. I just sent you another one so you could get it downloaded.
Because I want everyone to see how emotional his little sister. She looks about 8 years old. She's saying, "You guys are trying to ruin my daddy's name." It was sad.
My brother.
It was emotional.
He said my brother.
Yeah, my brother's. Oh, I said daddy. Brother's name.
All right, I love y'all, and y'all have a good Christmas.
And Merry Christmas.
That's right.
See you, Diva.
Merry Christmas, Toria. Take care. It's just, I don't know.
Well, let me just say this.
She shouldn't have been in the courtroom. She's too young. Why does he keep bringing kids in the courtroom?
Well, Sherelle, listen. They all know that they're about to get deported, so they don't want to go back to Canada. They crying.
Yeah.
You know, you couldn't act civilized over here, so now you have to go home. Get out. Get out. Get on that boat and roll on.
Okay. Essence, did you want to say something really quick, Val?
Yes, because my break is over. I just wanted to say, hey, Diva, hey, Sherelle, hey, Mary. I just wanted to tell you guys Merry Christmas personally. That's all. I want to tell you Merry Christmas. That's all.
Oh, Merry Christmas.
Hey, Merry Christmas.
Have a good one. Bye. Essence, sound off. What are your thoughts?
Guys. Okay, I 100% agree with Diva. I was very shocked. I am glad that she got justice because it's obvious that she was harmed, but I'm confused as to how the public, and when I say public, I mean these bloggers, were getting access to the courtroom. That I would like to know how they got in there.
You just go down.
Because there was a lot of people who said it was a closed trial. So that's been something that has been on my mind.
You get a press card. You get a press
okay. They're part of the press.
Yeah.
Got it.
You get a press card.
Lastly, I just feel like, I feel like this whole thing is being very exploited. I don't really like it. I think
what part is exploitive to you?
I feel like the selective outrage is a little bit exploitative, just a tad. I just feel like a lot of people are not really that into the justice of it all. They just want the tea of it all. And I don't really appreciate that because I do feel like it's very shocking that he was found guilty, even though he's guilty, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
It's really interesting to me that he was found guilty based on what we've heard on our end of the spectrum. So either I need to hear the closing arguments from both sides. I need somebody to put their money where their mouth is and pay for the transcripts and go through them, because the math is not mathing. Like the math is not mathing. I'm not even, Kelsey definitely, in my opinion, tweaked the trial, but I don't even know on who end at this point. Who was
you
she?
Want to know where the jury was coming from? How did they come to this decision?
Yeah, because it sounds like a very botched case. It sounded very cut and dry to me. You cannot really say who in particular shot her. However, I will agree with whoever did say his own personal demeanor and who he showed himself to be could have really played a huge part into him being found guilty in the eyes of the jury. But I want a little bit more information. Let's take away all the hoopla of, this being really a really hot topic, and let's dig into like the jurisdiction of it all. So
girl, ain't nothing to dig into. I'm sorry, I can't continue to listen to that. What is there to dig into? This woman was shot. It was ample amount of people there. Who did it?
She wants to know. In every case, eventually the jury will come out and they would say how they came to that conclusion.
Right.
She just wants to hear how they came to that. Like, what were you thinking? Because when we were seeing, it was inconsistent stories. So how did you guys, out of all that consistency, come to that? And maybe they're doing what Tulsa's saying. Maybe they're saying somebody shot her, and they had to pick out them 4 people: the driver, Tory, Kelsey, and Meg. they came to the decision it was.
I'm glad she got justice.
So
though.
I'm
I really
connecting
wanna say
with
that. I want to say that very clearly. I'm
right.
very happy that Megan got justice and that he was found guilty. I'm just more interested in what the court process was and the evidence. And if all of these bloggers are that invested in the story, why hasn't anyone paid for the actual transcripts and gone through them? That's what I want to know.
Well, I
I'll
don't
answer
think
that.
that-
Hold on, hold on.
Well,
Perry, wasn't King Payne, doesn't he have the transcripts? Somebody read me the
Yeah,
transcripts.
I mean,
Who was it?
I think it's some people that have the transcripts, but I don't think nobody's gonna go through the whole transcript and
Yes,
see
word for
on their
word.
show.
Oh yeah,
Let me
lawyers
see if
do
I
it
can
all
get
the
those
time
It's gonna
on
bore
YouTube.
people, huh?
Let me
I
go
can
on LawTube. There's something called LawTube, and I'm gonna be on it because that's what I like to do. I like to educate myself and understand stuff. So that's what I'm gonna go ahead and do and head on to hashtag LawTube because I'm pretty sure somebody gonna talk about it.
I'm
Well,
sure.
I guess I want to kind of summarize. I mean, Essence, right? So, Essence, I do understand a part of what you're saying, and I think so. I just want to be clear too, so everybody don't go crazy. I'm glad Megan got her justice, but when we're talking about the justice system and we're talking about beyond a reasonable doubt, that's what's shocking to me also.
Mhm.
So I would love to know and hear from the jury, like what was their turning point? What was their evidence that made them say guilty and made them say guilty, on all counts? That's all I'm just wondering myself too. Because my thing is, this was a celebrity case, right? But it's almost like if this case can go this way from what we heard from that was going on and they could come up with guilty. I'm just saying to myself, imagine if I'm an average person, okay, and it doesn't seem like they had enough evidence that was beyond a reasonable doubt. Well, Dad, can we just all go down because of if it's a lot of smoke and screens around the situation? So I'm not, again, I'm glad Megan got her justice, and I'm not saying he shouldn't have been found guilty. I'm just wondering though, because everything that we was hearing, it was sounding like it was going to go the other way. So I'm just wondering too, like, what all did they pull together
Well,
and that
Diva,
they could say that for a fact that he was the one that did it?
Diva, look
Mhm.
at
Yeah,
this. I mean,
yeah.
his behavior inside of the courtroom, in the hallway. He one of the bloggers, he got them detained. His lawyer sought out to get this blogger detained and to be questioned.
What lawyer? I mean, what blogger was that? King Payne?
That was King Payne.
Oh yeah, King Payne.
So
Yeah.
he's already being shady, and then allegedly he was in an elevator with a juror.
But
You
I
know
know
what I'm saying?
I hear you, Queen Tulsa, but usually all of that when you're in the court, the jurors, I mean, unless the juror went
He's
back and
trying
told
to
all the
hide
other
something.
jurors
He's trying to
herself,
cover up. But
huh?
listen, you got to look at it like this. He's trying. That looks like to me. He's trying to hide something. He's trying to cover up. He's trying to get. He's trying to get in somebody's ear. When
I
we speak
agree.
about now, let's talk about this. Milagro Grams. They were supposed to have been working years ago, or supposed to be in a podcast or something. But now she babysitting his kids. She's the aunt. I got a question. Did he fly her out from New York to come over and babysit somebody else's kid?
Oh no.
She was babysitting in the court.
For
Let's
who?
talk about it. And then her stance is, oh, he's innocent.
Here's the thing, Sherelle.
That's who tried to throw it. Go ahead. I'm sorry, sister.
That's okay. A phrase that Diva said, which I think says a lot, is from what we heard. Unless this was being broadcast live on TV where we could all listen and
Right,
hear,
right.
we were getting information from people who were in the courtroom, and just based on human nature, they probably had facts mixed in with what they thought what they were
True,
hearing meant.
true.
And jurors were not only listening but also looking at nonverbal communication from Meg, the prosecutors, and the antics that Tory was doing in the courtroom. All those things, they cannot suspend what they see in the
Mhm.
courtroom from the facts of the case. He was behaving like somebody who was being inconvenienced and wanted to enjoy the process and not take
That's
it
true.
seriously.
That's true. That's true.
I
That's
don't want to
fact.
interrupt Bonji, but I agree 100%. That's all I wanted to drop in and say was that everybody's talking about Meg wore her hair in a bob, her suit was too bright purple, this, and this, but nobody's talking about how unlikable that man was in that courtroom. Every day there was something else the prosecutors were saying he was doing behind the scenes. People were paid off. Tory Lanez is probably the most unlikable man on earth today, and people were still defending him, not realizing that, okay, this evidence doesn't all lead out to Tory, but mixing that with his personality, his family, his bringing his kid into the courtroom, those antics really ruined him.
I agree.
Evidence or not, Tory was unlikable. Meg is a cute girl, regardless of how deep purple her suit was, how her bob was, and all the clowns that came in to testify against her who were previously her friends. Meg looked like a victim. Tory looked like a
So let
predator.
me repeat this, because I had a lot of people in the chat that said they are confused because the evidence was wishy-washy. That's true. But what people are saying on the panel is they're watching what's going on. And his actions, his behavior was not that of even remorse. It was like, can we get this over with so I can get back to my music? That was his attitude. I wanted to play this for you guys really quick. He had a terrible, and the King Payne story that King
Yeah,
Payne
I
just
agree. He put
King
the nail
Payne
in
just-
his own coffin. I could accept that.
Yeah, you
And
gotta
I
look
think,
at
and he
Payne.
did shoot Megan, in my opinion.
And Megan looked like a victim. She looked like a likable young girl who didn't deserve it. I mean, she is. Whether she looked like it or not, she looked likable to the jury. She looks like a victim we need to protect.
Let me play this for you guys.
Verdict is in, guilty on all counts. Tory did not react. He stood motionless, staring forward the entire time. They polled the jurors to make sure that what everybody was saying was in fact guilty. They went through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 12. Every single person said guilty. Tory was taken into custody, remanded into custody. No bond at this time. Sentencing is set for January 27th. At the end of the proceeding, his father stood up, had an outburst in court. The sheriffs had to remove him. He eventually left on his own volition. He was not arrested. Another gentleman took out his phone, recorded the outburst. That gentleman is currently in front of the judge right now. The judge is, I guess, going to charge him perhaps with violating the rules of the court. Guilty on all 3 counts. Tory Lanez sentenced on January 27th. He has been remanded and taken into custody by the Los Angeles sheriff.
Wow.
Verdict is in, guilty on all
Did you guys
counts.
hear that? So a guy that pulled out his phone early and started reporting it, he's getting in trouble. Listen, did I tell you? Did you guys hear my video the other day when I said I didn't like Harley? There's 2 top
the
bloggers
jury
I didn't
duty.
like how they were reporting it. They were kind of
I
making
thought,
things worse. I just
yeah.
played one of them. I had to. But still, I mean, we were getting, there was too many bloggers involved and too many things going on at one time, adding to the chaos. But I cannot believe the judge is going to punish one of the bloggers that did not listen. You did not listen. They said, do not report from this courtroom.
That's good. I'm happy to hear that.
And he pulled out his phone anyway, and now he has to go in front of the judge. Child, what is wrong with people? Follow the rules.
Anything for the story, Sherelle. They bugging. They acting crazy.
Fame is a hell of a drug. Look at Tory. I mean,
Fame's
he's
hell of a drug.
got that money, got that fame, and he felt like he was untouchable. He thought that he was Michael Jackson.
I do want to hear where the jury came from. I want to know what made them make that decision.
Well, can I say something?
Yeah.
I do think that the evidence was actually leaning towards Tory being guilty, which is why I definitely feel like, in my opinion, he shot Megan. It was, and I think maybe the jury could see beyond all of the hoopla that was happening in the courtroom. But it's just I don't understand where Kelsey falls in You know what I'm saying? I just really.
Well, let's talk about Kelsey. It's
I just don't
obviously she
understand.
lied. She did lie. Kelsey lied. Is she going to get in trouble for that? She had gunpowder on her hands. Is she going to get in trouble for that? You know,
I mean, this is what I'm trying to say. I would have had in my opinion, if I was on the in the jury, I would have really in my mind be wondering, did he shoot her or did Kelsey shoot her? One of them shot her, but I didn't get to see. I wasn't in the courtroom. I didn't hear all the evidence, but from the social media version of the trial, I'm thinking, dang, I don't know. She might have shot her. So, but anyway, God know who did it, and I'm happy she got some kind of justice. So for that, I really can't complain.
I am happy too. I agree. And I just I'm going to drop off after this, but I just think that it's really important that we probably recognize that in the justice system, Black men aren't regarded in the same way they are in our Black hip hop culture. So Tory Lanez had all the support from Drake and Academic and the shade rooms and things like that. But in real life, the US doesn't work the same way Black culture does. Like, we put Black men on a pedestal, we overprotect them, we over coddle them. But of course, in courtrooms, it's not the same. So we're all still trying to figure out, how did this happen to him? How did this happen to him? When it's pretty clear that, in real world America, it's not that confusing. Not that he's a victim of any racism or anything. I think she got justice, but I just think that the way we coddle Black men and we overprotect them, especially as Black women, even when Meg protected him when this story first came out, Black women are always riding for Black men, even when they're the victim of a Black man. And that just didn't play out in American justice. Usually it doesn't. Black men are usually guilty before proven innocent.
Well, sis, let me even piggyback off of that. There's a guy that had unalived his 2-month-old baby, and he's dating an influencer. And so my thing is that right there, that blew me. That you are this man is in prison for murder, the M word, and you are loving on him, you are protecting. Is something wrong with? Am I tripping, y'all?
No, you're not.
You're right. You're absolutely right. We overprotect them even when we're the victim. We overprotect them, the Shade Room, the Drakes, the Academics, the Joe Buttons, the Nicki Minaj. I mean, like, everybody was protecting this man.
With that being said, LA, I'm getting tons of messages. Meg is going to face some kind of repercussions from the rap community. They are pissed.
Why? She didn't do anything.
She didn't
even tell. She didn't even tell. She
She
didn't even
didn't tell.
For some reason, they're blaming
surprised?
Rock Nation, and they're saying Rock Nation won over 1501. I'm not into the companies like that. Does anybody know what they're talking about?
That's
Remember,
her
I think I
record
was
label
telling you
with
that
Carl
earlier.
Crawford.
Remember that I
Evelyn
was
Lozada's ex-husband is the Carl Crawford who owns 1501. Him and Jay Prince, the notorious violent thugs, Jay Prince and Carl Crawford, own 1501, and Megan signed under Jay-Z's label. So they believe that Jay-Z used his influence and or money to influence the case and the verdict and the LAPD losing evidence. They believe
This
Jay-Z
is a
could have handled it
mess.
and that it was
It's
all
deep, Sherelle. And
And
that's what
also,
the father was screaming. That's what this father was screaming about, and
Yeah.
that's why he said Jay-Z's name, right? And again, we just having conversation here. And again, the reason why the father was screaming that and believing that, a lot of people act a certain way in court, but again, it's usually when you're told the judge to go deliberate, they tell you to go by all the evidence that was presented to you, right? And so all I'm saying with the evidence that I don't have the transcripts that I heard that was presented, it doesn't seem as if they could have came to a reasonable doubt, like that beyond reasonable doubt that it was definitely him. And so that's why the dad is pretty much saying, you got the money, you got the influence, I know what you did, you paid people off, and now my son is going to pay the price as a result.
This is a mess. This is nowhere ending here today.
It's crazy.
This is crazy. So now we got record labels pitting each other against each other, going at it. And
allegedly.
And some of these record companies are just straight up gangsters.
And Cheryl, here's the other thing. 1501 and Carl Crawford are actually going to court against Megan in January and Jay-Z's company because they are saying that she shouldn't have signed with Rock Nation. So that case is going to court in January.
And let's talk about 1501's artist. What's her name? Erica Banks. Ask her why was she shooting a music video in the same pool where her best friend was unalived. Or
I can't even comment on this.
Sherelle, I actually think on a previous video, Sherelle, you pulled up a picture of Kelsey maybe with her husband, who is a executive at 1501 now. Yeah. So
it's like dangerous to be a rapper these days. I ain't gonna lie. Like you got these gangsters.
If memory serves me, didn't Erica Banks just drop a song last night?
I think she did.
Yeah, and y'all know that's 1501's. That's their artist.
I think the most important thing will be how do they keep her safe, because we've seen this year has been hard on the industry when we're talking about safety. With all the vitriol that's going on the DJ's channel, she needs to be somehow kept safe. They need to beef up her security and keep her, maybe for her to lie low, and nobody know where she is.
This is crazy. And isn't 15, they're saying here, Cheryl says 1501 is Mob Ties. Mob Ties is the one that's kind of associated with the Takeoff murder.
Yes.
I can't.
Yeah,
Maybe
and
Nick was scared for different reasons.
And I just want to say that, in the same, I know it seems a little bit like not connected, but the same way we reacted to Wendy getting the drink thrown on her, and I'm like, she better not be overly casual with these women who basically, victimized her and such. I feel the same way about Megan. Now that you have been put in this situation, I really hope she holds herself accordingly. I hope that she sets a good example of, getting justice and being a woman who actually beat the system, because a lot of women get done wrong and nothing comes from it. You know what I'm saying? So for her to actually get justice, in my opinion, he was found guilty, which is a lot. That is progression, in my opinion. I hope that she doesn't go back to, life before this happened, if that makes any sense. You know what I'm saying? Because I
don't think it's her responsibility, or it's not fair for us to put that burden, another added weight on top of her after what she's been gone through. It's not her responsibility for her to carry the justice system and justice.
I'm just saying, I always feel, and I know, and I understand that women, and so another very wise woman told me that, Black women are allowed to grieve however they grieve. And even if that means that they jump back into regular life, that is their right. But I don't know. It's just always very interesting to see how people operate after being in the spotlight for something like this. I don't know.
So listen, let me just ask y'all ladies this. You at a party, you with your friends or whatever, and you have a disagreement with one of the guys. Is it right for you to get shot in both of your feet?
No, of course
not. Would you want justice?
Yes.
Okay, so let's just focus on that part. This was a woman. No matter how many drinks she had, she didn't deserve to be shot in her feet.
That's not what I said.
You're going to be saying that over and over, Tulsa, because it looks like there are some powerful rappers that are upset. Did Drake say in a song that she was guilty? Did Drake say that?
No.
He called her a liar, and he then he hasn't made an official statement about whether it was Meg or not, but he said something to the effect of lied about getting shot, but she's still a stallion. And then they tried to make it about some Canadian Instagram model named The Stallion as well. But it was too much of a reference to this case. And on top of that, I can't help but think about, because Diva was talking last night about Steve Harvey's children versus Lori Harvey. And something in the back of my mind always comes back to the most popular female rapper that looks the most black is Megan Thee Stallion.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
she's the one that gets the most vitriol from our community. No matter what Cardi does, no matter what Lotto says and does, Nicki does, Megan is over amplified with this hate. And it just brings me back to, is it because she's the most black looking of the most popular female rappers? Everybody else gets to skate with a pass. Cardi with her drugging and robbing men, Nicki Minaj with her bullying, Lotto with her overexposure of the Nicki Minaj situation and playing victim in the whole Grammy thing. It's just like, I don't know. Is it because she looks the blackest? I don't know. But
Well, what are you referring to?
See, you know what, Sherelle? Let me say this real quick, and then I gotta run. I think that this thing is multi-layered, right?
I see.
There was a situation that happened. And let's be clear, none of them really gave us the truth about what happened that night during that situation. So I don't think it's all just people hating on her because of maybe the color of her skin or because who she is or whatever. There was a situation, and we never and we still haven't gotten the clear facts on what happened that night. None of them is telling us that, right? So even to me, we need Kylie Jenner. We need this bodyguard. We need everybody. We need the facts upon what happened that night. Yes, I don't think anybody's trying to dispute the fact that she got shot in the foot. I mean, the paperwork from the hospital clearly says that, right? But even she never just came right out and told us for a fact this one did it over that one, right? And then the other girl, what did she get immunity for? If she's so innocent and she had no part in this situation, why did they need to give her immunity? And then she came up in the stand and gave us nothing. She gave us nothing.
You know what's even weirder than that? Guess who showed up to court for the hearing of the verdict? The bodyguard.
Bodyguard.
What?
Yeah.
Is
Wow.
that not a joke?
Wow, that's
Sherelle?
crazy.
Is that not a joke? It's
I know,
like
I swear to God.
It's like playing in our faces, right?
I'm gonna go read a
So
book.
that's why people are outraged too, because it's like, okay, you was missing for this whole for the most important part, and now you arrive again when the verdict is coming out. This
Yeah.
thing is more to it, and I think that's part of people's outrage too. It's like, okay, fine. Can we get some more evidence? Can we get some more facts? Can we really get to know? Not an illusion of what happened. Can we get to know more as to what really happened? Why are these people running and hiding? What do they not want to tell?
Yes, and who's sending them away?
Right.
Yeah.
Who is,
It's a lot.
who is
Well,
who
the
is
question is, why didn't Tory testify? If y'all wanted to know the truth, then y'all should have been forcing him and his team to have him testify. That's how you're. Listen, because a lot of people are, oh, he didn't do it. Well, why didn't he testify?
Well, you know what, Tulsa, I'm not going to argue with you that, but there's a lot of people that are on trial and they don't testify because sometimes the people, their lawyers feel like, you know what, just because you could be innocent, but if you don't know how to speak to the people and you don't know how to deal with questioning, you could be innocent and they will find you guilty because you're just not saying it right and you're uttering and muttering. So I do agree that maybe he should have stood up there and said something too. He should have maybe got there and told the whole truth. I don't know. This whole thing is crazy.
To diffuse him so he didn't have to lose his passport or anything like that. I mean, if I know that I am telling the truth, I'm going to trial, I'm talking. I don't care what relationships are going to break, who's going to not like me. I'm going to go and tell the truth. The truth don't change. If
All
you
right,
didn't do
let
it.
me wrap this up here because
and thank you, Diva. I love talking to y'all.
Thank you guys for calling in.
Happy holidays, Merry Christmas. I'll see you
Happy
next
holidays.
All right, happy
Merry
holidays.
Christmas, guys.
Everybody have a good Christmas.
Okay,
You too.
thank you, Sherelle and Terry,
Bye.
y'all. Thank y'all, and thank you, Rondi.
All right, take care.
Okay. Okay, so we got a lot going on.
Yeah.
We came home. I'm sure we'll be on. I'm No, I'll see you guys after Christmas. I'm not wasting my holiday with this. Please don't forget to click your and I'm not that like button on your way out. If I didn't get to your call backstage, I do apologize. I'm simply out of time. Want to thank everyone for your super chats. You don't have to support the channel, but you do. So I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Perry on 3. Let's say bye. 1, 2, 3. Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.